Question 1. What was the significance of the Statute of Westminster 1931 for the British Commonwealth? A. It marked the beginning of the British Commonwealth. B. It ended the Commonwealth. C. It granted legal independence to the Dominions. D. It established the Commonwealth Games. Answer: C. It granted legal independence to the Dominions. The Statute of Westminster 1931 was significant because it granted full legislative independence to the Dominions of the British Commonwealth, marking a key step in the development of the Commonwealth as it exists today. Question 2. Who was the Prime Minister of the UK when the National Health Service, NHS, was founded? A. Winston Churchill. B. Clement Attlee. C. Margaret Thatcher. D. Tony Blair. Answer: B. Clement Attlee. The NHS was founded in 1948 when Clement Attlee was Prime Minister under the guidance of Health Secretary Aneurin Bevan. Question 3. Describe the main reason behind the introduction of the Factory Acts in the 19th century. A. To restrict trade union activities. B. To improve working conditions in factories. C. To increase factory production. D. To reduce factory taxation. Answer: B. To improve working conditions in factories. The Factory Acts were introduced primarily to improve the deplorable working conditions in factories, particularly for children and women, during the Industrial Revolution. Question 4. Which treaty marked the end of British involvement in the American War of Independence? A. The Treaty of Paris. B. The Treaty of Versailles. C. The Treaty of Westminster. D. The Treaty of London. Answer: A. The Treaty of Paris. The Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783, marked the end of the American War of Independence and recognized the independence of the United States, formally ending British involvement. Question 5. What event led to the imposition of the Martial Law Act by Charles I, which contributed to the start of the English Civil War? A. The Boston Tea Party. B. The Bishops' Wars. C. The Peasants' Revolt. D. The signing of the Magna Carta. Answer: B. The Bishops' Wars. The imposition of the Martial Law Act by Charles I was in response to the unrest caused by the Bishops' Wars, contributing to the tensions that ignited the English Civil War. Question 6. How did the Battle of Britain influence the outcome of World War II? A. It resulted in a significant loss of British territories. B. It prevented Germany from achieving air superiority, crucial for an invasion of Britain. C. It led directly to the Allied invasion of Germany. D. It caused Britain to seek peace with Germany. Answer: B. It prevented Germany from achieving air superiority, crucial for an invasion of Britain. The Battle of Britain was a crucial victory for the UK as it halted German plans for an invasion and marked a turning point in the Allied favour during World War II. Question 7. What was the primary outcome of the Reform Act of 1867? A. It abolished the monarchy. B. It extended the vote to all men and some women. C. It extended the vote to urban working men. D. It restricted voting rights to property owners only. Answer: C. It extended the vote to urban working men. The Reform Act of 1867 significantly widened the electorate by granting voting rights to many urban working men, thereby expanding democratic participation. Question 8. Who was the first British monarch to abdicate the throne, and what was the cause? A. Edward VIII, due to his marriage to Wallis Simpson. B. George III, due to his illness. C. Richard II, due to political instability. D. James II, due to the Glorious Revolution. Answer: A. Edward VIII, due to his marriage to Wallis Simpson. Edward VIII abdicated in 1936 because his proposed marriage to Wallis Simpson, a twice-divorced American, was deemed unacceptable by the British government and the Church of England. Question 9. In what year did the Great Fire of London occur, and what was its impact on the city? A. 1666. It led to major rebuilding of the city. B. 1642. It initiated the English Civil War. C. 1601. It ended the Elizabethan era. D. 1555. It led to the Marian persecutions. Answer: A. 1666. It led to major rebuilding of the city. The Great Fire of London in 1666 destroyed a large part of the city, including most of the medieval city of London, which led to the subsequent rebuilding of the city with new architectural designs. Question 10. Who led the British forces at the Battle of Waterloo? A. Duke of Wellington. B. Horatio Nelson. C. Winston Churchill. D. Oliver Cromwell. Answer: A. Duke of Wellington. The Duke of Wellington led the British forces at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, which resulted in Napoleon's defeat and the end of his rule in France. Question 11. What was the main purpose of the Corn Laws enacted in the early 19th century? A. To decrease grain prices. B. To increase grain prices. C. To regulate the quality of grain. D. To promote free trade. Answer: B. To increase grain prices. The Corn Laws were enacted to maintain high grain prices by imposing tariffs on imported grain, benefiting landowners and farmers, but leading to widespread discontent among the working classes. Question 12. Which act passed in 1833 marked the beginning of the abolition of slavery throughout the British Empire? A. The Emancipation Act. B. The Slavery Abolition Act. C. The Freedom Act. D. The Liberation Act. Answer: B. The Slavery Abolition Act. The Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 marked the beginning of the end for slavery throughout the British Empire, leading to the emancipation of slaves, particularly in the Caribbean, Canada, and South Africa. Question 13. What was the main contribution of the Beveridge Report to British society? A. It led to the creation of the British welfare state. B. It privatized healthcare and education. C. It decreased taxes significantly. D. It increased military spending. Answer: A. It led to the creation of the British welfare state. The Beveridge Report, published in 1942, outlined plans for widespread social insurance and was instrumental in the establishment of the welfare state in post-war Britain. Question 14. Which British king faced the invasion of the Spanish Armada, and what was the outcome? A. Henry VIII. The Armada was defeated. B. Elizabeth I. The Armada was defeated. C. James I. The Armada successfully invaded. D. Charles II. The Armada was repelled. Answer: B. Elizabeth I. The Armada was defeated. Queen Elizabeth I was the monarch when the Spanish Armada attempted to invade England in 1588. The Armada was famously defeated, marking a significant victory for England. Question 15. What historical event is commemorated by the Tower of London's Ceremony of the Keys? A. The Gunpowder Plot. B. The Opening of Parliament. C. The nightly locking of the Tower Gates. D. The Coronation of the Monarch. Answer: C. The nightly locking of the Tower gates. The ceremony of the keys at the Tower of London is a traditional event that commemorates the nightly locking of the gates of this historic fortress, a practice that has been carried out every night for over 700 years. Question 16. What was the primary focus of the Chartist movement in the mid-19th century? A. To gain independence for colonies. B. To secure political rights for the middle class. C. To advocate for workers' rights and universal male suffrage. D. To abolish the monarchy. Answer. C. To advocate for workers' rights and universal male suffrage. The Chartist movement was focused on securing political reforms, including universal male suffrage and better working conditions, reflecting the desires of the working class. Question 17. Who was the first female Speaker of the House of Commons, and in what year was she appointed? A. Margaret Thatcher in 1979. B. Betty Boothroyd in 1992. C. Theresa May in 1997. D. Harriet Harman in 2007. Answer. B. Betty Boothroyd in 1992. Betty Boothroyd was appointed as the first female Speaker of the House of Commons in 1992, marking a significant moment in the history of British politics. Question 18. What triggered the Jacobite rebellions in the 18th century? A. Economic crisis. B. Religious conflicts. C. The desire to restore James II and his descendants to the throne. D. Disputes over land ownership. Answer. C. The desire to restore James II and his descendants to the throne. The Jacobite rebellions were primarily triggered by supporters of James II and his Stuart descendants, who sought to restore their line to the British throne. Question 19. Describe the impact of the British Agricultural Revolution on the Industrial Revolution. A. It delayed the Industrial Revolution by increasing agricultural productivity. B. It had no impact on the Industrial Revolution. C. It contributed to the Industrial Revolution by providing surplus labour and increasing food production. D. It led to a decline in industrial activity. Answer. C. It contributed to the Industrial Revolution by providing surplus labour and increasing food production. The British Agricultural Revolution brought about significant changes in farming practices, which increased food production and allowed more people to move to cities, thus fueling industrial growth. Question 20. In which conflict was the charge of the Light Brigade, and why is it historically significant? A. The Crimean War. It is known for its mismanagement and high casualties, symbolizing the bravery and tragedy of war. B. World War I. It marked the use of cavalry in modern warfare. C. The Napoleonic Wars. It was a turning point in British military history. D. The Boer War. It represented the last use of traditional cavalry. Answer. A. The Crimean War. It is known for its mismanagement and high casualties, symbolizing the bravery and tragedy of war. The charge of the Light Brigade during the Crimean War in 1854 is historically significant for its disastrous outcome due to miscommunication, highlighting the perils of wartime mismanagement and the valor of the cavalrymen. Question 21. What role did the United Kingdom play in the formation of the United Nations? A. It was the host country for the initial meeting. B. It was one of the founding members and Permanent Security Council members. C. It initially opposed its formation. D. It joined only after the organization was established. Answer. B. It was one of the founding members and Permanent Security Council members. The United Kingdom was instrumental in the formation of the United Nations and has been a permanent member of the Security Council since its first session in 1946. Question 22. Which British monarch officially inaugurated the London Underground? A. Queen Victoria. B. King Edward VII. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. King George V. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria officially inaugurated the London Underground when it opened in 1863, making it the world's first underground railway. Question 23. What was the primary reason for the English Reformation under Henry VIII? A. To centralize royal power. B. To introduce Protestantism. C. To secure an annulment of his marriage. D. To improve economic conditions. Answer: C. To secure an annulment of his marriage. The primary catalyst for the English Reformation was Henry VIII's desire to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, which the Roman Catholic Church refused to grant, leading him to establish the Church of England. Question 24. What significant legal document was signed by King John at Runnymede in 1215? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Royal Charter. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Constitution of Clarendon. Answer: C. The Magna Carta. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215 by King John at Runnymede, is a foundational document of English constitutional law and laid the groundwork for the development of parliamentary democracy and limitations on monarchical authority. Question 25. What was the purpose of the Royal Marriages Act of 1772? A. To restrict the marriage of members of the royal family without the sovereign's consent. B. To liberalize the marriage laws. C. To require parliamentary approval of royal marriages. D. To ban marriages with foreign nationals. Answer: A. To restrict the marriage of members of the royal family without the sovereign's consent. The Royal Marriages Act of 1772 was enacted to ensure that all marriages of members of the British royal family required the approval of the sovereign, a reaction to several disapproved marriages by King George III's siblings. Question 26. Who was Oliver Cromwell, and what was his role during the interregnum period? A. A military dictator who ruled after the English Civil War. B. A monarch who restored the House of Stuart. C. A playwright who documented the period. D. A general in the Royalist army. Answer: A. A military dictator who ruled after the English Civil War. Oliver Cromwell was a key figure during the interregnum, serving as Lord Protector and ruling as a de facto military dictator after the execution of Charles I and the abolition of the monarchy. Question 27. How did the Glorious Revolution of 1688 affect the British monarchy? A. It abolished the monarchy permanently. B. It restored absolute monarchy. C. It established the constitutional monarchy. D. It had no significant effects on the monarchy. Answer: C. It established the constitutional monarchy. The Glorious Revolution significantly altered the British monarchy by deposing James II and establishing William III and Mary II as co-rulers, thereby cementing the transition towards a constitutional monarchy where the power of the monarchy was limited by Parliament. Question 28. What was the outcome of the Treaty of Edinburgh-Northampton in 1328? A. It recognized Scottish independence from England. B. It unified England and Scotland under one crown. C. It ceded significant territories to France. D. It ended the 100 Years' War. Answer: A. It recognized Scottish independence from England. The Treaty of Edinburgh-Northampton in 1328 marked the end of the First War of Scottish Independence by recognising Scotland's independence from England and the sovereignty of Robert the Bruce as King of Scots. Question 29. What was the main economic change during the Victorian era that influenced global trade? A. The adoption of protectionist policies. B. The expansion of the British Empire and industrialisation. C. The shift from agriculture to service industries. D. The decline of the manufacturing sector. Answer. B. The expansion of the British Empire and industrialisation. During the Victorian era, the expansion of the British Empire coupled with rapid industrialisation led to Britain becoming the workshop of the world, significantly influencing global trade patterns through exports and the control of trade routes. Question 30. Who were the Tolpuddle Martyrs, and why are they significant in British labour history? A. A group of MPs who advocated for labour laws. B. A group of workers who were transported to Australia for forming a trade union. C. Inventors who contributed to labour-saving devices. D. Factory owners who implemented labour reforms. Answer. B. A group of workers who were transported to Australia for forming a trade union. The Tolpuddle Martyrs were significant in British labour history as they highlighted the harsh treatment of workers and sparked a significant public outcry that eventually led to improved rights for trade unionists. Question 31. What event marked the beginning of British rule in India? A. The Battle of Plassey in 1757. B. The signing of the Treaty of Versailles. C. The establishment of the East India Company. D. The First War of Indian Independence. Answer. A. The Battle of Plassey in 1757. The Battle of Plassey marked the beginning of formal British rule in India, as it allowed the British East India Company to exert control over Bengal and eventually expand their influence throughout India. Question 32. What was the impact of the Black Death on the British feudal system? A. It strengthened the feudal system. B. It led to its eventual decline. C. It had no significant impact. D. It expanded the system to new regions. Answer. B. It led to its eventual decline. The Black Death significantly weakened the British feudal system by drastically reducing the population, which led to labour shortages and increased the bargaining power of the peasantry, undermining the traditional feudal hierarchies. Question 33. How did the Acts of Union 1707 affect the political landscape of Scotland and England? A. It separated Scotland and England politically. B. It unified Scotland and England under a single parliament at Westminster. C. It granted full independence to Scotland. D. It established a confederation between the two nations. Answer. B. It unified Scotland and England under a single parliament at Westminster. The Acts of Union 1707 politically united Scotland and England into a single sovereign state known as Great Britain, with a unified parliament based in Westminster, London. Question 34. What was the historical significance of the Battle of Agincourt in 1415? A. It marked the beginning of the English Renaissance. B. It was a major victory in the 100 Years' War that underscored the effectiveness of English longbowmen. C. It led to the temporary French occupation of London. D. It resulted in a decisive French victory that ended the war. Answer. B. It was a major victory in the 100 Years' War that underscored the effectiveness of English longbowmen. The Battle of Agincourt is historically significant for its demonstration of the devastating effectiveness of the English longbow, leading to a crushing defeat of the French nobility and a significant morale boost for England during the 100 Years' War. Question 35. Who was the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, and what were his main contributions? A. Winston Churchill led Britain during World War II. B. Sir Robert Walpole established the office's power and precedence. C. William Pitt the Younger, known for his fiscal reforms. D. Benjamin Disraeli, known for his foreign policy. Answer B. Sir Robert Walpole established the office's power and precedence. Sir Robert Walpole is generally regarded as the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, serving from 1721 to 1742. His tenure helped to shape the role of the Prime Minister by establishing it as a powerful and central part of British government. Question 36. Describe the significance of the Magna Carta in the development of British democracy. A. It was the first document to establish the monarchy. B. It primarily served to elevate the rights of the nobility. C. It laid foundational principles for legal limits on power and rights of the citizenry. D. It was insignificant and largely ceremonial. Answer C. It laid foundational principles for legal limits on power and rights of the citizenry. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, is a cornerstone in the development of British democracy as it established key legal principles like the rule of law and the rights of individuals, influencing future constitutional and democratic developments. Question 37. What were the major outcomes of the Congress of Vienna for the United Kingdom? A. It lost significant overseas territories. B. It gained strategic territories and strengthened its influence in Europe. C. It was isolated diplomatically. D. It led to internal political upheaval. Answer B. It gained strategic territories and strengthened its influence in Europe. The Congress of Vienna, which reshaped Europe after the Napoleonic Wars, was beneficial for the United Kingdom as it gained strategic territories and significantly enhanced its diplomatic influence across the continent. Question 38. In what year did women over the age of 21 gain the right to vote in the UK, and why was this significant? A. 1928. It marked full voting equality with men. B. 1918. It was the first time women could vote. C. 1945. Post-World War II reforms. D. 1969. Part of broader civil rights reforms. Answer A. 1928. It marked full voting equality with men. Women over the age of 21 gained the right to vote in 1928 in the UK, achieving full electoral equality with men, which was a significant milestone in the fight for gender equality. Question 39. What was the significance of the Battle of the Somme in World War I? A. It led directly to the end of the war. B. It was a minor skirmish with little impact. C. It was one of the bloodiest battles of the war, symbolizing the brutality of trench warfare. D. It resulted in a decisive Allied victory that changed the course of the war. Answer C. It was one of the bloodiest battles of the war, symbolizing the brutality of trench warfare. The Battle of the Somme in 1916 is remembered for its high casualties and the limited territorial gains it achieved, highlighting the horrific nature of World War I trench warfare. Question 40. Who was responsible for the establishment of the British welfare state post-World War II? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Clement Attlee. C. Winston Churchill. D. Tony Blair. Answer B. Clement Attlee. The welfare state in Britain was established post-World War II under the leadership of Prime Minister Clement Attlee, with the implementation of key social reforms and public services based on the recommendations of the Beveridge Report. Question 41. What was the significance of the swinging 60s for British culture? A. It marked a period of economic decline. B. It was characterized by political unrest and upheaval. C. It represented a cultural revolution, influencing music, fashion, and social norms. D. It was mainly noted for its technological advancements. Answer: C. It represented a cultural revolution, influencing music, fashion, and social norms. The swinging 60s in Britain was a period of profound cultural change, marked by the emergence of new musical styles, significant shifts in fashion, and changes in social norms, epitomized by figures like the Beatles and fashion icon Mary Quant. Question 42. Describe the impact of the Suez Crisis on British foreign policy. A. It confirmed Britain's dominance as a global superpower. B. It led to a temporary improvement in Anglo-Egyptian relations. C. It marked the decline of Britain's influence as a global power. D. It strengthened British ties with its Commonwealth allies. Answer: C. It marked the decline of Britain's influence as a global power. The Suez Crisis in 1956 was a pivotal moment for British foreign policy, revealing the limits of Britain's power and significantly damaging its international standing, particularly through its strained relations with the United States. Question 43. Who was responsible for the decolonization of the British Empire in the 20th century? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. Winston Churchill. C. Harold Macmillan. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer: C. Harold Macmillan. As Prime Minister, Harold Macmillan played a significant role in the decolonization of the British Empire, particularly through his Wind of Change speech, which acknowledged and supported the movement toward independence within African colonies. Question 44. What was the impact of the Witchcraft Act of 1735? A. It led to a resurgence of witch trials. B. It decriminalized witchcraft, marking a shift from superstition to legal rationality. C. It intensified the persecution of alleged witches. D. It had no significant impact as witch trials had already ceased. Answer: B. It decriminalized witchcraft, marking a shift from superstition to legal rationality. The Witchcraft Act of 1735 was significant as it marked a change in the legal approach to witchcraft, treating claims of witchcraft and magic as fraud rather than crimes, reflecting the Enlightenment's influence on British law. Question 45. How did the invention of the steam engine impact the British Industrial Revolution? A. It had little impact on industrial practices. B. It slowed down industrial processes. C. It was a key driver that facilitated major advancements in manufacturing and transportation. D. It was primarily used for agricultural purposes. Answer: C. It was a key driver that facilitated major advancements in manufacturing and transportation. The steam engine, developed by inventors like James Watt, was crucial to the Industrial Revolution in Britain, significantly enhancing productivity and efficiency in industries such as textiles and rail transport. Question 46. What were the main reasons for the construction of Hadrian's Wall? A. To mark the boundary of the Roman Empire and control barbarian invasions. B. To serve as a trade barrier. C. To decorate the landscape. D. To prevent the spread of Christianity. Answer: A. To mark the boundary of the Roman Empire and control barbarian invasions. Hadrian's Wall was built on the orders of Emperor Hadrian as a fortification to delineate the frontier of the Roman Empire in Britain and to protect the empire from the northern tribes. Question 47. What significant environmental legislation was passed in the UK in the 1950s? A. The Clean Air Act of 1956. B. The Environmental Protection Act. C. The Climate Change Act. D. The Wildlife and Countryside Act. Answer A. The Clean Air Act of 1956. The Clean Air Act of 1956 was a critical piece of environmental legislation in the UK, introduced in response to the deadly Great Smog of London in 1952, aimed at reducing air pollution through the regulation of smoke emissions. Question 48. What was the historical significance of the Gunpowder Plot of 1605? A. It led to the establishment of the Church of England. B. It was a failed attempt by Catholic conspirators to blow up the House of Lords and kill King James I. C. It resulted in the independence of Scotland. D. It initiated the English Civil War. Answer B. It was a failed attempt by Catholic conspirators to blow up the House of Lords and kill King James I. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605 is historically significant as it highlighted the religious tensions in Britain and led to harsher penalties against Catholics during the period. Question 49. Which technological innovation during the Battle of Britain played a critical role in the RAF's defensive success? A. The invention of radar. B. The development of the jet engine. C. The use of aircraft carriers. D. The introduction of automatic weapons. Answer A. The invention of radar. Radar technology was a crucial innovation during the Battle of Britain, giving the Royal Air Force a significant advantage in detecting and responding to German air attacks, thereby contributing significantly to their defensive success. Question 50. What were the main causes and outcomes of the Peasants' Revolt in 1381? A. It was caused by a disagreement among the nobility. It resulted in increased rights for peasants. B. It was triggered by oppressive taxation and harsh labor conditions. It led to temporary concessions, but little long-term change. C. It was due to religious disagreements. It resulted in reforms in the church. D. It started over land disputes. It ended with significant land reforms. Answer B. It was triggered by oppressive taxation and harsh labor conditions. It led to temporary concessions, but little long-term change. The Peasants' Revolt of 1381, one of the first large-scale popular uprisings in England, was driven by grievances over socio-economic and fiscal pressures, although it ultimately resulted in limited lasting reforms.